My thoughts on this. This will probably go on the Younger 59 Entertainment channel. Look, NBA Finals have come to a close, and there's some things that I have to say about it. Now, did I watch them in its entirety? No, but I know enough about what's going on to know about what's going on. And obviously, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Giannis Antetokounmpo being Finals MVP. There's some things that I want to say that kind of I think a lot of people that are fans of the game of basketball. Now, the NBA brand of NBA basketball, we already talked about it in the previous show, is shit. Okay, let's just be honest with it right now. Unfortunately, we've built an entire generation that has come up on this brand of basketball, and hilariously enough, a lot of people, the reason why the game is the way that it is, more finesse, the whole pace, dribble, ISO ball, no low post game, centers aren't even a thing anymore. People act as if that is, they say it's more fun to watch. You hear a lot of commentators say that, and I just disagree. And I think a lot of people fucking disagree with me. Disagree on that sentiment. Again, even if you remove the woke stuff from the aspect of the NBA, it's still a bad brand of basketball. Now, with that being said, the reason why a lot of people are going to highlight, as they should, what happened with the Milwaukee Bucks winning is that it's off-brand. And what I mean by that is that it feels like a throwback, right? Your star player, for example, has a clear weakness in the fact that he's not that much of a shooter. He knocked down his free throws, the closeout game. He went crazy, by the way. Feel like 50 points, like 14, 15 boards. Some just insane thing, right? And he played his ass off, and obviously he's a very likable character. But I'm telling you right now, the NBA is too stupid to understand why that is the case, rather. Yes, I get it. There's going to be all these people that say, well, he won because injuries to like the Nets teams and all of this sort of stuff. That's neither here nor there. It's actually irrelevant because what is. Hell, if we want to get to the nitty gritty of it, I think the fact that, for example, Giannis works on his body so much. The guy came in, grew 2 inches, gained 50 pounds since he entered the NBA. And I think a lot of that in working on his body and being committed to that is why he's generally, even when he got injured in the finals, he came right back, or rather in the latter half of the playoffs, he came right back because I think of that. You see, do all of this load management and all this sort of stuff, players are getting more injured than they ever had. I think there's something to that. Nonetheless, it feels like an old school style of basketball because you have a guy who is dominating the game by sheer just being a brute, if you will. Now, yes, he can handle the ball obviously very well for a guy that is his size. He's nimble, he's agile, he's athletic as hell to be basically 6'11", 7 feet. But again, it's a guy that's dominating the game really right around the basket. And again, the weirdos say, the people that like or think that everybody likes the game as it is now would say, number one, you can't win like that. Not anymore. Number two, they'll say that, well, you know, that game is basically gone. Like the low post game and all that. It's, they say dunks and threes. All basically, Giannis is doing is finishing around the rim. He'll give you like a little jump hook here, little baby fadeaway, little some turnaround jump shot. Here and there, but it's usually like right around the basket. Now, again, he's a likable cat because because he feels like a throwback, though he's not even fucking American, right? He's the team in itself is a team that was, yes, did they pick some people up through the free agency? Of course. You got the Drew Holiday free agency or trades and stuff, Drew Holidays of the world, of course, but you also have the star is homegrown, drafted by them. Fortunately, the damn Dallas Mavericks thought it was a great thing to select. I don't know, Shane fucking Larkin over Giannis, though he was on the board and even Donnie was telling you to select him. Okay, that's neither here nor there. That's a topic for another conversation. But we are where we are. They won as a kind of throwback, throwback superstar. A guy that is a workhorse. He plays very, very hard, and no, he's not shooting fucking threes and doing step back fades at the logo or anything, but he's efficient. He's despite his up and downs, airball and free throws, he goes right back out there and he continues to compete, and people pick up on that and people enjoy that. Now, the hilarious thing about all of this, despite me saying all of what I said, the damn NBA isn't going to even pick up on it. Because they are dead set in this trap that, well, we wanted to make the game less finesse, or excuse me, more finesse, less physical, right? The hand checking, obviously, we know how that is. You can't look at someone the wrong way without getting a flagrant one called on you or whatever, fouls called, all of that sort of stuff. Players flopping all over the damn place. And again, it's more of a finesse, like kind of deal where you have guys that are using, and I'm not saying they're individually not more skilled in this generation, which is my generation, by the way. I just want people to understand that we are in the generation. All the players that are the superstars, actually, for the most part, aside from Giannis, are fucking older than me. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, the NBA is too stupid to understand that despite, and this is why it was a win-win as far as I'm concerned, no matter who won the finals. Yeah, LeBron wasn't in there. I know a lot of people like, thank God. But seriously, both were kind of throwback teams. You had, for example, on the Suns end, you had a Chris Paul's a traditional floor general point guard. You had, like Devin Booker, who is a literal shooting guard. That's what he does. He goes and he gets fucking buckets. I don't like the comparison to Kobe that everybody continues to crown him because he can't play no goddamn defense. And Kobe could play defense. Kobe made all defensive teams. For whatever reason, people seem to forget about that. But, hey, that goes to show what generation that we're in, where you can compare a motherfucker to Kobe just because he scored a lot. The fuck? Anyway, moving on. Ayton, who had maybe a shit finals, he's a throwback guy. You know, he's a big, but, you know, he can shoot from the outside a little bit, but that's not his game. You know, he wants to play around the rim. So no matter who won out of it, we had two throwback kind of style teams, and one of them were going to win. To me, yeah, remove the woke stuff so you can get people to watch the shit again. But you get what I'm saying as far as the brand of basketball, this idea that people don't want to see that is just nonsense. It's nonsense. And again, you've seen even crossing over into, let's say, I know they just beat Spain, but at the national level, some of that game isn't crossing over as well because they don't get the calls and stuff, and they're having right now throughout the Olympics trying to figure that out. But Giannis Antetokounmpo is I love the fact that he took the shots at, I could have built it. I could have went somewhere, built a super team and all this stuff, and he didn't. He didn't build a super team yet. He got some great weapons around him, but he is just a baller. He's a guy that works hard, wants to play, and I think some of that, if not all of that, it's funny. We used to look at places abroad, right? Not in America, and they would say that, okay, those leagues are soft. The players, European players especially, are soft, and that sort of idea. Whereas to now you're seeing guys that are coming from overseas that are dominating, and really a lot of them have a more old school Americanized approach to basketball. When you look at some, which is why I believe they're coming over here. The stars that are coming over here are able to be as dominant as what it is that they are. The Jokic's of the world, the Doncic's of the world, as well as, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I would love for the NBA to pick up on that and say, well, this is a lot. This didn't hurt the game. The fact that there were people banging bodies. The weird thing I love about Giannis is like, okay, yeah, you're trying to give me, you know that I can score around the basket, so you're gonna play 10 feet off of me. Okay, it's like that. It's like, I'm not saying he plays like Shaq, but Shaq was basically as dominant. Or obviously more, you get what I'm saying. But the idea was that you threw everything you had him and it didn't matter. Hey, we know that he's going to put his back to the basket and try to turn around and dunk on everybody's head. So we're going to send people on the weak side to go put his hands up or whatever. And it didn't matter. Power dribble, dunking on someone's head. It was nothing that they could do because he was just simply, he knew how big he was. He knew how strong he was. And that's what I love about Giannis. And he wasn't always that big and strong. If you go look at some old footage, as well as even when he first at 18 was playing for the Milwaukee Bucks. That dude was 6'9", probably 100, and I don't know. That man was light. He was light. He's a guy that committed to working on his body. And because of that, you know that he wants it. You know that he wants to win, and he doesn't want to do it how people are doing it these days, building super teams. It was very hard to root against that guy. But the unfortunate thing about all of this is that the NBA is too retarded, that they'll never pick up on that. They'll never try to get the rules to kind of be somewhat like they once were, to allow the physicality of the game to be present. And it also isn't going to do them much good because you birthed an entire generation who grew up on just that. I don't know if you guys see all of these videos. Like I do a lot. I go down the rabbit hole of watching Facebook Watch, and I'm seeing all these young cats come up. They play the exact fucking same way. The same way. And it's like, what the hell, like that's not, that's the way the game's played these days. So of course they're going to play that way. But you see, if you are a guy that commits to, I don't know, being fucking physical, you can still win ball games. And a lot of people said that Giannis couldn't because he couldn't do this. He knew what his strength was. He stuck to it. He wasn't the best shooter in the world. Would you like him to develop a jump shot at some point, a more consistent one? Of course. And at some point he probably will. But he knows what he's good at now. He got out there, willed his way to win, and he put the team on his back because, Middleton and Holiday were playing like dog shit from an offensive standpoint, at least. And he said, I bet I'm going to give you 50 and I'm closing this motherfucker out. It's hard to root against that guy. But the thing that sucks is watching those two throwback teams go at it. That probably, unless it's just Milwaukee again, you're not going to see much of that. And the NBA isn't going to try to gear their game to where the low post game can be present again. You can be more physical again. They're not going to try to do that because they say the game's more fun when we see motherfuckers not playing defense, shooting from the logo all the goddamn time, and that type of stuff, instead of seeing folks. Basketball is supposed to be a physical game at the end of the day. It's just a better brand of basketball, and that's the one thing that I picked up, obviously, from watching those, albeit sparsely, the recent finals. So we'll see what the NBA does, but they're going to probably double and triple down on the woke shit. I know they kind of dialed it back a lot this past year, but they're kind of still sprinkled in there. They dialed it back enough for a lot of people. I mean, again, I went so far long without it. I'm like, whatever. I may catch a game if it's on at the fucking wing stop or some shit. But we'll see if they change the game for the better, but don't hold your breath. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Cannon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcannonsake.com.